Hey guys, this is actually quite a sad video for me to make. After 7 years with the old trusty Hilux, this is the last time I ever take it out bush. This car's meant so much to me. It's like a member of my family, or the only family I've got here now. I'm on my own over here. So it's all I've got. So it's just really sad to see it go. Unlike a lot of other content creators who purchase these really old Sandy Torp Land Cruisers and everything else just to try and be nostalgic with their audience. I didn't do that. I bought this because it was in my budget. It was all I could afford. It was my first four-wheel drive, and it's got me to places I thought I could never go. It's been a bloody good four-wheel drive. I had it for sale for not even 2 weeks on Facebook Marketplace. Someone come checked it out last weekend. I thought it was going to go then, because I knew the first person seen it was going to buy it. He come down though, inspected it, and said basically it was too big for what he wanted. He's a city driver, and he said it's too big for a city car. Obviously it is, it's four-wheel drive. So he didn't want it, but another young lad come down last night, took it for a test drive, and he just fell in love with it. So I'm glad it's going to someone that loves Hiluxes. His dad's got a Hilux as well, same model as this. So I'm glad it's going to someone who's going to appreciate it. And he couldn't believe the condition that it was in. He said he's been looking for quite a while and he hasn't found one in this sort of conditions. I've tried to look after this car the best I can. It had to last me. It was all I could afford. And I do a lot of remote touring, so it had to get me through. Luckily, I never ended up on a tow truck with this car. Not once did I have to call for help. It definitely looks strange not having the rooftop tent on now. It looks so bare and naked. That was 150 kilos I had up on the roof. And I sort of understand why that guy that test drove it last week didn't want it. He wasn't happy with how it felt. Like it was like a boat, trying to drive a boat. It was just rocking you around a corner and you just felt it was going to tip over all the time. Didn't trust it on beaches. I didn't trust it everywhere because it was too heavy. And this old car isn't designed to have this much weight up top. I've got the heavy suspension that Old Man and Me make. I've got airbags and I've got helper leaves. Still wasn't enough to make it feel stable on the road. The car is just too narrow and it can't handle it. It wasn't built to handle this much weight. But the other day, since removing the rooftop tent, I was just blown away. When I drove it home from the workshop that day, it was like a completely different car. It was amazing. And then coming out to camp today, doing 110, I could go around corners so far. It was like a race car compared to what I'm used to. I could just corner and there was just zero body roll. It just felt like a completely different car. So I understand why that guy yesterday test drove it was so happy with it, because it just drove so much better. Not only was the handling better, but fuel economy was dramatically better. Braking and acceleration had changed so much as well. It was like I had brand new brakes and I had a lot more acceleration. And also the car was running 10 degrees lower than normal temperature. Normally it sits around 92 degrees, doing 110, and now it was like 82. It was so different. The car was just under no stress at all, and the car was loving it. Mechanically, the Hilux is in A1 condition. Everything in here has been rebuilt. The motor, just everything you can see, I've changed over the years. I want it to be reliable. As you know, I do lots of remote touring, and I didn't want it to break down on me. Because I'm on my own most of the time, it had to get me there and back. The Hilux is still registered in South Australia, so to be able to get it registered in Western Australia, I had to send it through the pits. About a week and a half ago, it went through there. There was a short list of repairs I needed to do. I'll put it just up here. Most of that's done now. Last bits will be done next week, and then I can get it through the pits again. It'll be approved, it'll be registered in Western Australia, and then I can sell it. So the Hilux will be gone next week. I can't talk about my new car yet, but until then, this is me. No rooftop tent, no awning, no nothing. I bought a cheap June icebox, got my Weber, and I've got a cheap swag. Besides the fact that the Hilux isn't suitable for my touring needs, it would be nice to have something from this century. 1989 the Hilux is. No air conditioning either. I took the air conditioning out years ago because I had so much weight in it. I wanted to try and take as much stress away from the motor as I could. So I ripped all the air conditioning out, and I've gone for 7 years with no aircon at all. So which means I've got the windows down every time I go off-road. So every time I go off-road with windows down, everything inside my car just gets absolutely covered in dust, all my camera gear, everything. I'd love to be able to have my windows up, have a pressurised cabin with air conditioning, and even electric windows. Luxuries like that would be amazing to have again. I haven't had a car from this century in 8 years. I think the Hilux has actually been a character in my channel. It's been in pretty much every single one of my videos right from the start. My very first video was installing products into this car. I only paid $3,500 for this car from my uncle. He's the one that rebuilt the motor, put the turbo in it. He built that canopy by hand. He did everything himself, and I've just built it up. Enabled me to get out a lot more places I never thought I would be able to, or I could ever afford before that. I had Commodores my whole life. So I used to take the Commodores on the beach. I'd get bogged all the time. I didn't care. I still wanted to get out and do what I could. This just enabled me to get so many more places. Now I want to take a look back now at some of my favourite times with the Hilux. We're about to attempt the Hungry Highway. This is rated an 8 out of 10. So my Hilux shouldn't be anywhere near this track. It's gonna be very sketchy, but give it a crack anyway, see how we go. Well, that was the scariest drive of my life. We were all pretty worried. I didn't think the old Hilux would make it up that hill. That was so bloody steep. But now look at this. I had to go down all that. This is gonna be a very slow, slippery way down. Oh, here we go. And I am shitting myself. I've never been this scared in my life. I'm on top of a mountain. Never done any hill climbing before. Only beach driving and love day 4x4 park, stuff like that. Never any mountains. So to tackle an 8 out of 10 straight away is pretty crazy. Now I'm heading over the edge now, and I can hardly see, I cannot see anything over the edge. Oh, this is so scary. Okay. Oh. Seatbelt. Oh, what a time for the seatbelt not to let me look out the window. Oh, come on. I'm not in an accident. Let my seatbelt go. I cannot see my tyre. Also, I don't want to take off my seatbelt. Whoa. And this is where things turn bad. We approach this corner, the really high camber and the cliff just on the edge, with no way to turn around. Our only option was to push through. was trying to take it as slow as I could, and everything was going fine until I approached this big rock on the left. My front wheel went over it fine, but my back suspension is very stiff to handle the load in the rear end, so it has no flex at all, so I wanted to push the car straight over and straight off the edge. I was now stuck with no way to get around this big rock. Our only option was to try and track build using the rocks on the side of the road there and build up the right hand wheels to raise the right hand side of the car up enough to get over that rock on the left hand side. I apologise for not recording more footage of the recovery, but our first priority was getting out of there safely, and recording was second priority. We genuinely were scared that the car was going to go over the edge. We didn't want to rush the recovery, so I stopped, thought about it. What's the safest way to recover the vehicle without it rolling over the edge? I decided to hook the winch up from the front. The only available trees were these tiny little trees. Don't know if they would have done the job, but it was all there was. At the rear, I thought the safest thing I could do was hook the snatch strap around my chassis near my tow bar and around another nearby tree. At least there was 2 anchor points that my car would only roll once down the hill instead of 10 times.
Carla can watch that rock, you watch these. Make sure I don't slide off these.
You're halfway over the rock.
That's sliding around it, is it?
Yeah, it's sliding off the edge.
Alright, pick up some rocks. How's that strap going?
Yeah, it's still loose. You're past the rock.
Awesome.
So we've been driving for a couple of hours now. This beach was pretty nice to drive along, but now we've come to the end of it. Got cliffs over there, so the only way out is up that big sand dune. This is going to be very interesting. This is the one I've been dreading doing, but it's been great fun. We're both going to get stuck, but that's what we've got the recovery gear for. Alright, let's give it a crack. After seeing so many videos of so many other people getting stuck, I was actually really nervous that I wouldn't make it up this hill at all.
That was close. That was so close.
And that's it. Before we knew it, we were back in Beachport and the trip was over.
How good is this, man? You've been recovered by a Hilux and now outdriven by one. Beautiful, mate. You're right, you're right. Keep it going. Oh, you like it's nice and soft, no damage there, mate.
Sun's just coming up over the horizon. I've just made either the biggest mistake or the best decision of my life. I don't know yet which, soon find out. It just doesn't feel real.
Just arrived at Borough now, a couple of hours north of Adelaide. So, what have I done? It's bloody scary. I've just left my really nice 4-bedroom house that I've absolutely loved living in, best house I've ever been in, to living out of a car that's not even from this century, 1989 Hilux. That's all I've got. Next 3 or 4 months, that's what I'll be living out of. Lake McDonald, about 15 k's out of Penong, just before you start the Nullarbor, is one of those spots you definitely have to come. If there's one drone shot you get the whole time on Nullarbor, this is it. Not so much for social media, no one cares about that, everyone gets this shot. But you want that shot of your car with this contrast, it's so amazing. The nice pink there and the green on the other side, it's such a great shot. Made it to the Nullarbor cliffs just in time, right on sunset. You don't want to drive the Nullarbor plain at night time. There's wombats, kangaroos, and even camels on the road, so you definitely don't want to hit any of them. We've even seen cows. So time to relax now before the sun goes down. Enjoy a nice beer right on the cliff. As much as I want to say what my next car is, I can't actually talk about that too much yet. I'm frothing to tell you, so I'm hanging out to reveal it and everything else, but I just actually cannot say anything just yet. I'm very excited. I can tell you it will be a newer Hilux, so it'll be something from this century, and yeah, another Hilux. So I wouldn't go anything other than a Hilux besides a Troopy, but that's way out of my budget. Now I know a lot of people have been worried about me as well, how I've been going lately in my personal life. Things are slowly improving. I'm pretty excited at the moment. I've already booked a flight for Easter time. I'm going to go back to South Australia to see my son for Easter. I'm going to spend the whole Easter break with him there. So he's already planned a heap of activities we're going to do together. So we're going to go golf and mini golf and all these other different things we're going to do. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, to answer that question I've got as well, I'm not selling the Hilux for financial reasons. It's not because I'm stuck and need to sell it. I'm actually upgrading, so it's a positive that I'm selling it. As sad as it is to see it go, it is for a good reason. I'm finally upgrading to a better car. But if you guys have got any more questions, I know there's going to be questions about this, and I'll try and answer what I can in the comments, what I'm actually allowed to answer. But yeah, leave any questions down there. If you like the video, leave a like. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. But I'm going to kick back now for the rest of the weekend, enjoy my last weekend with the Hilux, get the Weber going now, cook a lunch, and just relax for the rest of the day. But we'll catch you on the next video, guys. Cheers.